I have to journal what just happened. I have to video journal what just happened because I kind of can't believe it. It's God does things like this with me. Crap, I forgot to disable the chat. I don't want to see nobody foolishness tonight. Can I do it from here? I don't want to see nobody foolishness tonight. God no. All right. I'm in awe. Okay, so I get up this morning. I didn't get to pray as early and as long as I'd like to, and as I've been putting my effort into, because I went to bed way too late. Just doing whatever. Now I get up, I pray, I go about my day. I'm working, and I watch this video. Where is it? Do I even have it up? I'm watching this video, this financial video, and I hardly ever watch these. Like when I say I hardly ever watch these financial videos, like I hardly ever watch these. But this one caught my attention. Where is it? I'm not even going to pull it up. So the person is talking about different ways you can save up for retirement. And she uses the phrase, well, here it is. I'm just going to
$100 on this
right here. I'm going to share it. Because if I don't reenact this for myself, I'm going to forget. And I'm doing this for me primarily. Because I think God is tired of he might not be tired, but he has had to tell me this a lot. So here it is. And he just has the cutest little ways of, I mean, my gosh. Here we go.
Don't realize that they could be earning anywhere from 300 to 400% more on their savings just by switching accounts. While traditional banks are paying you practically nothing to hold your savings there, the high yield accounts through money.com are offering between 4 and 5% or more. And so real quick, let's make this real.
Okay. Right? So she's talking about high yield accounts. Boom. I watched the whole video. I'm working while I'm watching. That phrase is the only phrase that I write down for the whole video. Okay? Now, here we go. Now I'm looking at myself a little bit. That's the only phrase I write down. So now, tra-la-la, go through the day, blah, blah, blah. I go here, blah, 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 blah. All the stuff you got to do. Okay, boom. So now I'm about to go home. The rain gets really, really thick. Oh my gosh, this is the second time rain. Okay, I got to do a journal for that too. So the rain gets really, really thick. And I don't know what it is with me and rain lately. I opt out. If I'm driving and it's just pouring coming down, like I used to just, oh, okay, man, wow, it's really coming down, drive home. Lately, I don't know if it's just chicken or it's just whatever, but it's like, I'm not driving through that. I don't care. I'm not doing that. So I'm about to drive and I look ahead of me, it's dry where I am. It is so rainy in front of me. It looks like a snowstorm. I look up, I see the snowstorm ahead, even though it's Florida, ain't no snow. And I'm just like, nope. So I just turn around and I park somewhere and I get on my phone and I, return work emails, call my staff and talk about stuff or whatever. I'm just working in the parking lot because I cannot be bothered with driving through the rain. So I'm done. I doze off. And before I head home, I wake up, my phone is on YouTube, and this minister couple I know, they're on live, which I didn't realize they was going to be on live. So, and I'm just going to show them quickly a picture of them. So they do these lives because they have a book right now that they have out called The Cactus and the Rose. And this is them. That is Pastor and Dr. Barlow. Oh, am I showing it? Oh, hold on, wait, let me show it. There they go. That's Pastor and Dr. Barlow. Such a wonderful couple. God has used those people to really, really do some things in my life. Like when you talk, I can't really explain. But I don't trust a lot of people who are ministers, but I trust their ministry. Pastor Barlow is actually a lawyer like me, or I'm a lawyer like him rather. And he is cold with the deliverance ministry. He's just a real person. And I've been watching their series when I can. I don't even think they've been on a lot, but they started going live about their book. And the more I'm learning about their story, because I have the book, but I'm not married now, and they made clear it's like kind of toward married people. So I just try to focus on stuff that's written for me. You know what I mean? So they're going live and they're talking about their book, and I'm looking at them and I'm learning about the story and the journey they had to get from where they were to where they are now. And where they are now is, Pastor was wilding for a minute. He was wilding for a while. And I never knew that about them. I never knew like that was their story. And she had to like pray him through and be what we're calling now derogatively or pejoratively long suffering. And I was so surprised to learn that. And I started to feel away. I started to feel a little way because what it reminded me of now. It reminded me of like, I'll show you what it reminded me of. There we go. Let's close that. I'm starting to look at them, and what I'm starting to feel like I'm looking at is this. And in the years that I've known this couple, I've never looked at them like this. Now, if you don't know what it is I'm showing right now, this is an episode 934. You know, 934 episodes, my God, of Dear Future Wifey. And the title of this video is You Won't Believe What Nearly Broke This Pastor's Marriage. Well, honey, whatever we nearly won't believe what broke this pastor's marriage nearly broke the internet. Because, the ladies are all ablaze on all the platforms, just sort of decrying the Dear Future Wifey platform in general. But this story is sort of like a paragon, if you will, or a case in point of the typical guests or couples, or I would say common, because I've seen a few of his episodes. They're not all like that, but this couple is basically a testimony of a long-suffering wife with a husband that's wilding out, but he loves Jesus now, and it's just sort of, I don't know. It's like the more you see stories like that, the more you see people post things like, you know what, being single can't be worse than that. I think I'm okay being single. And I kind of identify because I'm in a place where it's just like, all right, I think the Lord has said some things to me or laid some things on me, on my heart about marriage. But it's like, if it don't happen, I don't feel that youthful, like fear and, you know, imminent devastation over, oh my God, what if it don't happen for me? Like, I can contemplate a life where I don't get married again. And look at this. Look at this. I want Black women to experience love that doesn't require being dragged through hell first. Me, a relationship like this never find me. See, comments like that. That's right under the man's video. A lot of women feel like that. A lot of Black women feel like that. You know, you hear people talking about how, oh my God, struggle love. We didn't get past struggle love. And, you know, I'm not totally with that school, but I get where they're coming from. And I have to be honest. There's people in my life, I look at their marriage and it's just like, missing out on physical intimacy is really difficult. Like, it is not easy. And yeah, the thought of not having children or never having children, I don't have any. And the thought of like, I might never have any is not an easy thought to have by like, that's the understatement of many years. But I be feeling like, I'm straight. I don't think I can deal with that. I don't want to go to jail. I don't know how you're dealing with that without going to jail. It was just a lot, you know, and for those 2 years, you know, I was married 4 years on paper, but I was actually with the gentleman for 2 years. And it's just like, bruh. Now, I mean, in that situation, that person did provide me plenty of biblical grounds to divorce. And I did not, no, I'm not going to say I did hesitate. I did pray, I prayed over it like 4 times before I finally did it. But, you know, it was just like, I found myself relieved that he gave me biblical grounds to divorce him. Because it's just like, this man's crazy. Like, who puts up with this for 20 years? Who does this for 15 years? I shan't. I shall not. And since then, that was 10 years ago, 11 years ago, November will be 11 years since that divorce was finalized, and 13 years since we split up. But just like, first of all, the way I got into that marriage, God allowed it, or at least he used it to reveal to me the severe lack of self-love that I suffered from at the time. And my disobedience in letting the Lord and a therapist help me with my mommy issues is how I ended up in the marriage to begin with. And so the divorce was like a second chance, and I bless God for it. And so I've just kind of been engrossed in doing my work, as they say. I'm going to therapy. I've been learning what godly self-love is. I've been, you know, building my career, and just kind of just living and learning lessons, you know. And I've been happy with that. You know, being married is hard and being single is hard. And I've come to a place where I accept that. It's not that I don't desire marriage. It's just not the end of the world. You know what I mean? The way it was for a girl who grew up in church, it was kind of bred, even if I was not explicitly taught to look at it as the end of the world or the end all be all. I developed that type of attitude toward marriage, you know, and made at some point an idol out of it, like a lot of us church girlies did. And so that leads to why I do not currently pray about a spouse. Young Tasha used to pray about it a lot. I used to pray about it a lot. I wanted one, and you get under the impression when you're young and when you're ignorant and before life teaches you better, you you idealize marriage and all of these different things. And so that's another reason why, even though divorce is painful, I'm glad I went through it, because I got to just go ahead and be married and see what the big whoop is. And I do have some days where it's just like, do not recommend. 0 out of 10. But that was earlier on my healing journey. What I noticed has been happening lately, because there was a season where God was very silent about marriage, and I was silent with him. Did not mind. After I got out of that burning house, I did spend time praying for the person I was married to, just to ensure that I released them in my heart with forgiveness. But after I felt that release, I immediately stopped praying about that subject, because I just wanted to be a person for a while. Like, it's like, okay, I grew up. It's like, okay, we wanted one, right? We waited for one, and then we got one. And then while you have one, you got to pray for them. And it's like, at what point is my life not about this other person? I just wanted freedom from the idea of husband. It's just like, it's just too much. It's too important. I'm overwhelmed. And so after I stopped praying about the person I was married to, I just stopped praying over that area of my life, period. It's like, let me just live life now. And yes, granted, the year I said that, I was backslidden or lukewarm, whatever you want to call it. But it's just like, I'm tired of this subject. So that went on for a couple of years. 2019, I rededicated, fully back to the Lord, came out of rebellion and all of that. And the Lord began, he has these ways of reminding me, you need to be praying over this area of your life. You need to be praying for your husband. It's just like, what husband? I'm not married. I'm not married to anybody. Because it's kind of a bummer. I kind of hate it. At first it was like, oh, you mean you're sending me someone? You mean you're sending me to someone? Like, cool. Let me pray about it then. But then it's like a year go by, 2 years go by, you haven't met the person. It's just like, why am I doing this? And the reality is, if the Lord does have someone for you, that person exists. They need someone praying for them. Just like you need someone praying for you. And we go through the day, so many days, benefiting from the prayers of people that we don't even know are praying for us. Whether it's people we know or people we don't. People be praying for us, and the Lord be like birthing his will through people. And we just over here, and we don't even realize we're being like someone's interceding for us. Jesus included, who was on the right hand of the Father, making intercession for us all the time, right? So I just got tired. I don't want to do it. I don't want to do it. But last year, the Lord reminded me again. It's like for the past 2 or 3 years, it's like, he's like, Tasha, you need to be praying over this person. It's like, who? I don't know. Who? Pray for what? I can even remember back in 2018 when I was in the middle of my rebellion, just having a moment of just like, oh God, fine. And dropping to my knees and starting to pray for this person, whoever they are. And like, I could feel them there. Like I could feel someone with me, but not in a creepy way. It was so weird. I was like, was that 2017 or 2018? I think it was like 2018. It was the month of March. And I was just like, wow, it's like the Lord was impressing on me. This person exists. And they need prayer. They need someone to pray for them, just like you do. Well, if we live by faith, walk by faith and not by sight, why am I waiting to meet them to pray for them? And if I don't pray God's will into their life, who's to say they're going to make it to me? So, fine. I'll pray for the man. And then, so I'll have a moment like that, like, okay, yeah, let me just start praying over this again. And I'll pick up the little mini book by Stormy O'Martian or Amaritan, however her last name is pronounced. And I'll start going through that. And then I'll fall off around the 8th, 9th, 10th prayer, maybe a week or two in. I'll stop doing it every morning. Because it's like, I got to get to work. I got to work. I got other things to pray about. Other things are happening that are actually here. So I had to make this video because look what God did today. Okay, look what He did today. So I'm watching the video of these two people. I'm realizing, oh my gosh, I love this couple so much, and they have done so much for me. And God has used them to deliver and save and heal and reach so many people. And I have admired them for so long. And now I'm looking at them for a split second through this lens of, oh my gosh, is this them? And so now I'm feeling away. I'm feeling away. So whatever. So I'm just watching the video. That's in the back of my mind. And then watch what she says. Oh my goodness.
Consistent.
Oh, nope. Hold on. Now, she got notes, okay? And when she be talking, she be going by her notes. But look at her riffing, okay? She just told y'all she about to start riffing. Mind you, I have not spoken to these people. I watched their videos. I spoke to Pastor Barlow last month. But it wasn't even about this. They just doing their videos. They don't even know I'm watching. So she talking about basically her long season of long suffering with him. And I mean, their story is amazing. Their story is amazing, right? So she's talking about that, and now she's at the part of where he got saved and where God began to use him. This this is short, by the way. Move, Roland. Ain't nobody talking to you right now. Oh, it's playing it again. Okay. And I feel like no thanks. But watch what she says. Just gun it for me. That ain't it, though, y'all. Listen, that ain't it. That ain't it either, y'all. That ain't it. When she said it, I gagged. Well, I'm not gonna tell you what I was eating because I ain't had no business eating it. I've been doing good on my little diet now, my little lifestyle, my little habits, but I'm back little like a mug today. Not like a mug. I backslid a little bit. I had some wings and they was fried, and I don't eat fried food no more. I'm Mediterranean now. But yeah. I'm like, what did she just say? I'm sorry, I gotta rewind it because this God does stuff like this to me. And I be forgetting, and then I be wondering if he talked to me and if he's with me when he does stuff like this. I'm gonna play it again just for my sake. Love y'all. Uh-huh. I don't like that. I don't like that. Oh, I don't like that. Uh-huh. 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 Yeah. Come on, why y'all playing with me right now? Do y'all see this? Do y'all see this? why do why does God do this to me? He does things like this to me. I got another story. I'm gonna put it on another stream, but uh, on the serious note, say live recording. Why say live recording? 3 minutes. Did the stream end and I didn't realize? Okay, so they finished the live. I want to text them to say, man, thank y'all for that. That was good, blah, 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 blah. But I'm driving. So I call the ministry line to leave a message. Um, Something happened. I end up on the phone with them. So I just wanted to call and thank them about it. And, I had to be real with them. I'm like, the more I learn about y'all story, like straight up, I it does remind me of, and I told them about Dear Future Wifey and the whole controversy about some of the episodes that you see on that show. And she saw me. She's like, oh yeah, I know. And before she even like got a chance to kind of sympathize with me or tell me how she was feeling me, whatever, she was testifying about how she had been praying and led to pray for her husband since she was 14. It was something about that I don't know what came out. It would have to be the Lord. As she was talking about that, I just began to weep. I found myself weeping. And I'm like, is Aunt Flo on the way? Like, no, Aunt Flo's gone already. So it wasn't my hormones. I'm not secretly sad about something else. I'm good. It was the Lord. It was the Holy Spirit overshadowing me because what hit me in the moment is I don't know the old Pastor Barlow, but I do know that this Pastor Barlow that I know has pulled scores, if not hundreds, or by now, thousands of people out of hell. The Lord has used this man and the Lord has used this couple to pull hundreds and probably thousands of people out of hell. He has used them to drive demons, drive strongholds, drive oppression, drive sickness out of people's lives, so that between now and the day they die, they can live free and fruitful and productive and abundantly, myself included. Like, what would have happened to all that if she was just focused on what I look like? And I wept. I wept out of what I think is contrition for my pride. Pride that I realized I had. Because even though I don't particularly agree with 100% with the type of comments under that Dear Future Wifey video, it's like, I'm ready to opt out. I'm not a divester. If you know me any, I fight for Black men as a family attorney. And I very much enjoy the work I do on behalf of all my clients, but particularly Black fathers, given our history in this society and some things that I believe are happening right now that are specifically targeted to them. I love the work I do. And it's the month of June. A couple of years I do something in June called Father's Day every day. I think I'm going to go back to doing it this year. I had to take a hiatus last year just for my own health. But I'm not a divester by any means, but I'm ready to happily opt out. But can you imagine satisfying the whole, what I look like, that can't be me, and resting in that and being happy that you don't look like or feel like you're being played for a sucker when you could have been a part of something that resulted in the healing and salvation and liberation of so many souls and so many lives, so many people. Like, where would we be if Christ was like what I look like? Like, he's literally God. He's the second person of the Trinity, who is God. He is the fullness of the Godhead bodily. Like, he is the human expression of very God himself. Jesus Christ is God, the same God that struck Uzzah down for touching the Ark of the Covenant. Jesus is the human expression, the human form of that same God. The God that we like to say is a different God in the Old Testament from the one we have now in the New. No, he's not. He's the same one. That same God got in that body, came down as Jesus, a glove named Jesus, as some people would say, and allowed the dirt, the clay beings that he created, to look in his face and call him demon possessed. They turned up their nose at him because he's from Nazareth and he is really from the throne. Like, he died like a criminal. Uzzah got struck down for touching his ark in the Old Covenant. And in the New Covenant, Muggs was spitting on this man. Where would we be if Jesus Christ was like what I look like? There's a scripture in Hebrews that says he endured such contradiction to himself from sinners, bro. And we get so caught up in defending our brand and our name and our what? Our what? But for the joy that was set before him, he endured the cross. And he despised y'all little shame. I don't know who God has for me. I'm 42 now. Honestly, I thought when I got divorced, God would just send me another one like within 2 to 5 years. As time went on, it was just like, Lord, what's going on? I'm getting mad at you. You know, I can be the nigga when I'm 50, 55 next year, tomorrow, in 4 years, at 47 years old. Who knows? Low key, who cares? I've been abstinent for a while now. It's like, you know how it is, lady. Once I'm straight, I'm straight. I'm straight. I don't know who he has for me, and I don't know when they're coming. But if I am to marry, for me, it has to be mission. It has to be mission oriented. It has to bring what's in God's heart to earth. And I want to be ready and I want to be prepared. And if Jesus did all of that, if Jesus did whatever it took to be able to carry out the sacrifice as the lamb that we needed him to be, then I need to pray until I am in that place where I'm ready to do wherever it takes to walk in that mission with that husband. Because I want God to use me to save souls. I want God to use me to deliver people. I want God to use me to heal people. And yeah, he can do that through me as a single, but if he has plans to have me support a husband as he uses him to do that as well, or use us to do that as well, and I'm singing I surrender all, then bruh, I surrender all, like for real. No, I don't want to be looking crazy out here. But I mean, to some people I look crazy now. I was gonna get married when I was 24 to the person I swore up and down was the love of my life, and you couldn't tell me no way. You couldn't tell me no way. But the Lord stopped me from going through with it. And then 4 years later, ran into this marriage out of brokenness. I was 27 years old. That happened, and I was a virgin. I waited. I did what everybody told me to do. That barely lasted. And then I've been single ever since. So it's like I look crazy to people now for waiting on God. It's just crazy how I don't know. It's like how is it that we be thinking sometimes that God is like in the service of our ego the way we are? He don't care about that. Our ego, our comfort, like God can dispense with anything that's going to stand in the way of him making us into Christ, forming us into the form of Christ. He wants us, he doesn't want us to be humiliated. He doesn't want us to be hurt, but he will allow you to be hurt as he forms Christ in you. But he'll never harm you. Because for Christ to be formed in you, for you to be renewed and to fulfill the purpose he has on your life, that's the ultimate goal. And that's his glory. And that's why we're still here. That's why Christians are still here after getting saved. I don't want to just go and hear well done. I want to bring other sheep with me. I want God to use me. If I got married, I want to be married to someone that God uses. And so Those are my thoughts. And again, bump y'all. This video ain't for y'all. This video is for me. Because I keep falling off of praying for this man. And I think that's partially why I kind of even haven't really received in my heart that he exists. But talking about it like this kind of helps with that. And I gotta be praying for this man, bro. I gotta be praying for this. I gotta be praying for myself that I'm prepared. Because I still have certain ways about me that's just like, I mean, if I'm not getting married, do I have to change this? I feel kind of comfy just being in my bad habits. Some of them you have heard in this video. Yeah. So if you're watching this and you're like me, keep me accountable, man. You'll find me on IG and Tasha's also like, did you pray for your husband today? The answer will probably be no. If you're watching this 2 weeks after I uploaded it, the answer might be no. So hit me up and be like, Tasha, did you pray for your husband? Like, husband, I ain't married. Oh, the video. Yeah. Let me go do that. All right, y'all. Thank you for watching and listening. Love you. Bye.